Hello, everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this content. If you're interested in supporting us just a little bit further, you can become a member here on our channel. Memberships start at, I think, like $2 on my channel or $3, one of those things. And the majority of the funds do directly go into my pocket. I really appreciate that. Also, if you're interested in joining any of our campaigns, we do have multiple games looking for 5 players to fire off. We have between 2 and 3 people waiting in each of those games. So if we get to 5, you get to decide what style of game you will be participating in and get to experience D&D from the start all the way up to the end. And I believe that's going to be everything from me. So alrighty, Miriam, tell us what happened last session.
Well, last session, the group got a little time to roam about the city, find some stuff, and decided to go, hey, we need to buy some stuff because we spent a day at a resort and feel like shit. We need something to relax. Went on, did a bunch of little nice personal things. Some people helped guards, some people went and built shit, someone acted as a merchant off camera. And Miriam and Shale decided had a nice little conversation explaining magic is magic. Doesn't mean just because it looks spooky doesn't mean he's evil. And then immediately after that, Tolshan and Shale revealed that they both practice very dark kind of magics. Nice little coin flip there. And oh, the rambunctious family that we are, we decided to pull all what we know about our collective daddy, where what exactly he might be into. And there's some things that here that don't make some sense, but we don't know what he's into. We also discovered that the person who he was most likely not the person who owned that tavern we were sent to, but a patron that used to every month or so, or delivery guy, sort of. We also found out who the actual owner of the Riptide in the tavern was, and that they live upstream from the town on the coast of a river. I believe that person's name was
Yarsko.
And the group has decided to track this man down to see if he has any
woman.
Oh, sorry, did not get gender last time.
The owner, her name was Martha.
Gotcha.
Yarsko.
And see if they know any clues of the whereabouts of our disappeared daddy.
All right. So, you all have spent an entire month here in Port Damali. Some of you leaving the city for a couple of days or maybe just a couple of hours at a time to do different tasks. And at the end of all of this, the guard, the local captain of Port Damali, Selezos, gives you all the okay to leave. He's gotten all of your stories. Everything seems to check out with the majority of the people that had dealings up there, and the only people whose names are on the paperwork are Bernie and Kurt. So, you guys are now free to go and begin the next stretch of your adventure. Where would you all like to meet up?
Well, I guess we did get a lodging at one of the local taverns, I suppose, right? Or inns?
No, you guys were given free lodging to stay there.
Right, yeah.
You got to stay in the barracks unless you wanted your own place, at a tavern, but the barracks, it's not like in a jail cell. No. It's just like they have spare rooms available, especially with all their guards being, further up north right now. So.
Well, Bernie would be staying at the barracks at least, unless anyone would really insist on getting an inn.
No, I'd be at the guardhouse, and you did get us a cart, so
And didn't we also, when we also at that, staying at the, what's his name's place? So I gotta check my notes again. The lieutenant, or is it the captain of the Slezo? Wood Elf Lieutenant Dahlia?
yeah.
You all are staying in the barracks that he is in charge of, yes?
Yeah.
He does not have access to his house. That's why he's staying there as well, because he's recently divorced, as you all learned.
I imagine morning of, there's a stable where we're keeping the horses. We're getting the cart ready to go. Shell's probably up early, just getting them all fitted, loading
All right.
everything up.
So you all meet up at the stables. Sounds good. Then everybody walks over towards Shale, who was the first one awake, early bird amongst all of you, first one working and getting the horses/donkey all set up with your carriage that you purchased? Wagon.
Yeah, it was a carriage. I know it was
Carriage,
a cart,
thought so.
yeah.
Bigger one.
Yeah. So, you all meet up together. The journey is now yours.
So, good morning, everyone.
Good to see y'all made it. Didn't really have time to get breakfast, so if you want to grab something before we go, or I'm sure we got plenty of rations stored on the carriage.
Right.
Right.
Come to think of it, did we really settle on exactly where we're looking?
Just up the river.
Oh, right. Yes. It's that. What's his name again? The one we were, the previous owner of the.
Her name.
Oh, her name.
Yasko?
Yasko. Right.
Yarsko.
Well, I suppose we'd might as well just be off, right? Unless, is there anything else anyone needs to get?
I
Got everything collected up, and I think we should have enough for a few weeks, if not a month.
Right.
All right. So, who is going to be leading the cart? Who is going to be in the cart or wagon or carriage, whatever it is? Who's maintaining the horses and guiding you on this? Who is going to be making the survival check?
I'm going to be handling the horses.
All right, Shale does the survival check then.
I'll assist since I can actually talk to them.
Are we
Very good.
talking like
Now.
do we need to do a land vehicles check as well? Because I could do that if necessary.
Well, if you are proficient in land vehicles, you can maintain the horses, no check needed.
Right.
So that technically means Bernie would actually be the best out of all of you at maintaining the horses as you travel, meaning the person hyaing, since he has that proficiency.
I would be comfortable letting Bernie drive the cart, and I'd be out front, like just leading the horses and kind of walking along.
All right, good enough.
Am
Mary?
I able to, while in the cart, be able to start copying down my spells?
I want you to open up a journal and start hopping up and down slightly while writing, and then answer that question for me. If you can do it, sure, but like,
We need to invest in some shock absorbers.
Using
I mean,
ink and quill.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
you think that you think that Lily didn't already start making shock absorbers?
alrighty. So, Shale, you're up in front. You're the one in charge of the survival check then, with where you all are leading. Go ahead.
Sure. Woohoo, we're off to a start.
Holy shit. I mean, 10's not
No,
bad.
it's not. But we're off to a start.
Yeah.
They're out of the way?
Snake eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe we start going downriver instead of upriver. I don't know.
No. 10's not bad. You do have to frequently stop or slow down to like recheck the map of this area that Bernie has to be sure that you are heading the proper direction. Despite the fact that there is a road that leads you over to the bridge next to Port Damali, there isn't a clear-cut path up the river itself. Now, as for the two sides, I'm going to leave that in your hands, Shale. Do you, A, stay on the west side of the river, or do you scale up the river on the east side?
I would probably say we go up on the west side, only because we're already on this side. Bridges have a tendency of going out. I don't know. We'll if there's roads on both sides, we'll stay on the west. If there's not a good enough path, we'll cross east and see if there's better way traversing there.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, you guys also have a canoe, correct?
Two.
Two.
Two canoes. Two canoes
Yeah. Also,
on top of your carriage.
and as we're approaching the bridge, it reminds Lily of this one story she heard about a group of people who had set up a trap, but then were mysteriously disappeared at this one bridge during the whole Warwick crisis.
All right. Let's focus on this game
Sorry.
for a little bit. Thank you. And there is no path through the west side specifically. There is open area that you could track through of plains, of beach, and stuff like that up the river. But on the other side, there is multiple different roads that you could travel to make your way up there that lead directly up to Soa.
Unless any objections, I'm just going to venture that we stay on this side of the river, kind of discuss it briefly, and start leading the horses up north.
Alrighty. So, as you are all traveling, you go through many different types of territory out here. The way that the earth moves in the local menagerie is quite poetic in nature. You start off in slightly hilly plains, and then you go over to large mounds of hills that each one of those you could see as being some type of portrait in a fine person's home somewhere in this coastal area. Now, as beautiful as it is a little bumpy to get over for all of you. And after you get past that, you see that you are going towards another forest. This one, however, seems a bit more wide in nature. Many different openings through the entire area, and not a whole lot of large beast tracks that any of you can pick up on as you are looking to head into it. So, this may be the first forest in the Menagerie Coast that all of you have experienced that doesn't possibly have Jurassic creatures in it. Now, as you are leading over these large areas periodically, you all do have to stop to help push the carriage over a large hill, and it does make traveling a little bit more tedious, a little slower for all of you, but at least it seems to be fairly open in nature. Now, who wants the responsibility of rolling a die?
Oh,
Oh.
All right. Oh, Tolsha spoke up first.
Shit. I
You
was
get the
muted.
next one.
Fuck.
Tolsha, roll me a d8. Let's see what you are looking forward to in your first day of travel. 7. The first day of travel, it's peaceful. It's calm. You still smell the salty sea behind you, and towards the later part of that day is when you are ending your journey over the hills and entering into the forest. Now, you do still have a couple of hours of daylight left, but the sun is clearly beginning to settle. As you all are traveling, Shale, since you're the one in front, you're the person whose passive we are going off of. 16. Shale, you notice a outcropping of trees that seem to be a bit more bundled together, close kept, and as you all are traveling through this section of the wide forest, you notice the tip of a shoe peeking out from the other side of one of those trees.
I'm walking, not verbally communicating, and I just hold up a hand and I point over, checking over my shoulder to make sure who's watching has taken the hit.
That would be Bernie Tolsha.
Yeah.
So the two of you see Shale point over towards a little area.
Is there anything wrong?
I let out a sigh and drop my head and take my bow out and just knock an arrow as I step off of our current path for a moment and just kind of watch that area, waiting for any sort of movement.
All right. Are you all going to keep moving, though?
Let's see. We see Shale like prepping, right, for something, for trouble.
What's your passive? Not bad, so yes. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
like Lily won't draw her weapon, but she will have her shield at the ready.
Okay. Tolsha, are you trying to sneak around whatever might be up there?
Yes.
Oh, I meant Shale. Holy fuck. Okay, but you can do it as well if you would like. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm not.
God,
I was
I
thinking.
I don't know why I fuck up your two characters so much.
Wow, these purple sands look really green.
Excuse me?
Our title is Purple Sands Season 1, Session 1.
No, it isn't.
On YouTube it is.
Yep.
On you. God damn it.
I just noticed that.
I did as well.
10 seconds. Daddy issues sesh 10. There we go. Fixed. Happy. Oh yeah, I set up 4 players, not 5 players until I found out about it. Yeah. Okay. So Shale, that was my question towards you. I apologize.
Oh yeah, I'm not like sneaking closer or anything. I'm just stepping off so the cart can continue, and I'm keeping direct eyesight on where I saw the shoes at, just waiting to see if there's any other movement.
All right. Then roll me a perception check.
Sure. Just as a heads up on the map, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not seeing anything. Like, I'm completely blind. 21.
You guys are on the Menagerie Coast map and you don't see anything?
Yeah, no, I put it in the in roll 20 that it suddenly it was like vision light stuff. Like I can see Mike. Oh, there we go.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's because I added a fucking another layer.
You're good.
Hey, it's okay.
Shale, what'd you get on your perception? 21! Holy shit! You rolled good! Wow! I'm so proud of you. you notice as you are moving around that there appears to be 4 individuals out there, all of which are kind of like hiding over towards one of the trees. And when you get a better look off to the side, they seem to be deliberately watching for you all, and they have a very rough demeanor to them, very rough, type of people.
Come here, Dorothy. And as Dorothy like waddles up next to me, I'm just going to pat her on the head, and as I do, I go back to just holding my bow in kind of a imposing fashion as I wait, and I'm casting Beast Sense. Dorothy is going to burrow and begin heading over in that direction.
All righty. Well, have her go ahead and do that. And let me bring you all over to the map. So, Dorothy, who is burrowing, Shale, you have vision, correct?
I do, yep.
Okay. For some reason, it wasn't showing your vision in particular. You may move Dorothy closer towards this area since she is underground, but you do still have to roll her a stealth check.
Oh, absolutely. Earth be moving, 15.
Alrighty. That beats their passive.
I just want to point out that we do have Kent with us as well.
Yes, I'm just not rolling an NPC in your guys' combat for you, unless you specifically ask so. Yeah. He'll be on protect the animals duty. You know?
That's exactly what I was
sure no one
suggest
steals our
too.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Easy enough. So Dorothy gets to get to about right here without any of them reacting, and the one is kind of like peeking over the bushes at you all. Then he seems to lower himself down and gives out a loud whistle. And I would like you all to please roll me initiative.
Wow.
I don't know.
Of course. Yep. Mm-hmm. Alrighty then.
What the?
We're off to a good start.
That was almost the third one. All right, cool.
It was close.
Whoo! Shale, you listen to him give out this whistle, and you see the 3 heads of the individuals beginning to like move around the trees, but then they somewhat like hit their heads on the trees, and they are clearly acting very hostilely towards you all. What would you like to do? And keep in mind, you have Dorothy's tremor sense right now as your sense.
Dorothy doesn't have tremor sense.
She doesn't?
Nope. She's a land animal.
That can
burrow.
burrow.
We just gave her burrow, so I want to nix that right away. But I can hear and see. So she's listening right now, essentially.
Okay.
I'm going to still wait. I'm holding my action to. I'm using my bonus action, Dorothy. If you sense them moving towards us, stop them. And this is more or less going to be a command to like grab them. Not so much attack because we don't fully know who they are at this point. And then my action, since I'm sensing through her, I'm just going to take the dodge action. That's basically it.
Alrighty. Bernie, your years of training as a sailor, you notice a attack whistle. As a seaman,
Marine,
you notice. Sure. Wanting you to correct me, I'll call you a seaman then. As a Marine, you notice an attack whistle when you hear one, and you can immediately start reacting to it. Their stealth was decent, but not very good after it was pointed out to you. So what would you like to do?
right? And I can see them clearly, or
Not clearly. Each of them have about half to three
Right,
quarters
but
cover.
I can see where they are.
Oh, yeah. This guy is the only one with half. The other two are three quarters.
Right. Well, I assume I'm still sort of on the wall. No, never mind. I'm just gonna go up closer, and
Alrighty.
I'll one moment here. Yeah, I'm gonna use the champion challenge again. Just all right, come down. Let's see what you got.
What is that? Charisma or wisdom?
No, it's it's a wisdom save.
All right. Bandito number 1 failed. Bandito number 2, 15.
Let me see. I think that's the DC.
Yeah, so Bandito number 2 successful. Bandit number 3 fail, and the big guy is successful as well. So these two, I'm gonna mark with blue, as they are under the influence of your challenge.
And yeah, I'll just hold my action to attack when one of them comes close to me.
Alrighty. Marion. You're muted.
They're all hidden, right? I can't.
Relatively, yeah. You're aware of them being there, but you can only somewhat see most of them.
I'm gonna hold my action to cast Chill Touch for one of them pops out.
Alrighty. A lot of held actions. Lily.
Yeah, Lily is. Let me check it. Let's see. Got the range. 20-foot cube. Hey, quick question. How big is a 20-foot cube?
20 by 20.
So 20. Okay, that'd be. Where'd the whistle come from?
Down here.
Down there. Lily would like to react by kind of like she was going for her hammer, but then she just kind of shrugs, pulls out something from one of the boxes in the carriage, and shoots it in the direction that the whistle was from, and she's casting web.
Centered on that individual? Okay.
I don't. Yeah, centered it. Yeah, more or less.
All right. Lily's color is light blue. So let's give you 10, 20, 10, 20. And with him being in the center, that would be about there. So 2 of them get caught inside of that. The first guy failed, so he is stuck. The big guy is successful, though. Okay. So you shoot out a large silking of webs in that local area that fills up the entirety of that little cube that you guys all see. And the one guy seems to be like stuck against a tree, not able to break out very easily, while the other guy seems to have like ducked and used a set of branches to kind of guard him from it.
And then after that, Lily will go ahead and kind of maneuver a bit so that she's probably closer, but more like Miriam, and bonus action, command Misty to help protect Bernie. So Misty will just move alongside him. And that's my turn.
Alrighty. Tosha.
I'm gonna move over to here. And then on this one, guiding bolt. Or not a guiding bolt, a Sacred Flame.
Alrighty. They do. Wait, this one?
The one in blue, yeah.
Okay. So you get out of the cart. Keep in mind, since you were... Yeah, it's only extra 5 feet of movement. It's not an issue. He still has half cover. Oh, but it's saved, so it doesn't matter. Ha-ha! That was cocked. Ha-ha! He failed. Alrighty. So he takes 9 points of radiant damage as it just bursts underneath his feet.
Mhm.
All done?
I will pull out my scimitar and that's it.
Alrighty. This guy is going to peek around the corner and shoot at you, Bernie. Light crossbow attack. That'll be a 19 to hit. That misses. Yep.
It's that.
So the arrow pew shoots right past you. The other guy who is stuck is going to fuck it and try to shoot at you as well, Bernie. Shale, you held your action, correct?
Yeah, for Dorothy, but only if they approached us.
I
All
held
right.
an attack.
Oh, go for it.
Oh, a lot of ones
all
today.
over the place. Woo, so many ones. Yeah, well, a 19 also misses you, Bernie, so that's fine. This guy, however, 5, 10, 15, 20. Dorothy gets the pop up on him.
All right. Grapple attack. So athletics.
Just want to point out that in the web area, it's considered difficult terrain.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say, does he have that much movement?
He does have enough movement to at least get here.
Okay.
So 10, 20, 25, 30 to get where he's at. Yeah, that hits.
Surprise! So Dorothy just comes out of the ground and like bites onto his leg, and yeah, it's just trying to...
Shit, what the fuck?
Surprise,
And he is
motherfucker.
stuck in place. And he's just going to whirl his scimitar down on Dorothy 3 times then. First hit is 13,
miss.
7, and dirty 20.
Yep, that hit.
Dorothy will take 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay, got it.
All right. And this guy is going to charge out of the bushes towards you, Bernie.
All right.
Go ahead, take your swing.
All right. So just a question first. Do I get both my attacks then, or?
Yeah, you held your whole
All right,
action.
So I assume
10 just barely
All right.
misses. 26 hits though for how do you want to do this?
Oh, well, as he comes at me, I've been like keeping the shield in front to like ward off the bolts, and as he comes, I just slam my axe right into his chest, and a bit surprised that he goes down so easily. Like, whoa, sorry. Yep.
Alrighty. So that was an easy takedown for you all. Shale.
Yeah, I'm going to see how this works. I can see through Dorothy's eyes, not my own. So in third person, I'm going to attempt to fire this bow and see what happens.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, I figured. We'll see. There we go. Longbow. 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That'll be for 10, and then I will mark him as my favored foe since he's attacking Dorothy. So 11 piercing.
11 piercing. Bing! Kind of like stabs into his shoulder, knocking him back a little bit.
Dorothy, pull him down! And Dorothy's going to make her set of attacks now. So first one is an 8, and then
Yeah, that misses.
with the bonus action, she'll attack again. 14.
Also a
Okay.
miss.
That's it.
Alrighty. Bernie.
All right. I'm gonna walk over to flank with Dorothy
Yup.
and turn my attention on this guy. What the hell do you guys want? And then I'm gonna slam 2 attacks at him.
We want your money.
Well, that's not going to happen.
He will use his reaction to parry, giving him a +2 to AC, and that misses.
All right. Well, second attack.
That hits.
All right. I'll also use. I'll use smite on that.
Alrighty.
So that's.
Extra 6 radiant damage.
Yep.
Not bad. You strike into him once, and he parries the other blow with, not relative ease, but definitely combatant vigor.
Right.
Let's go with that one. And that's your turn?
Yep.
Alrighty. Marion.
You know, I understand the need for money, but really you should have picked your targets better. Chill touch on one of the guys behind the trees. Let's go with this one.
Okay. All right, 3/4
I
cover.
ignore it.
Do you have spell sniper? Yep. All right, go for it. Go for it.
I can sit here and snipe fools.
15 hits. Actually, you have advantage. He's restrained inside of the webbing.
Oh, okay. I'll
Roll again. You might crit.
Good.
That's a 1.
Well,
All right, yeah.
you did crit.
You kind of crit.
Yeah.
That is indeed a crit.
Your ghosty old hand strikes out and just pulls a little bit of his arm away from him. All right, Marion, all
Yep,
done?
that's it.
Lily, your go.
Lily is going to go ahead and hop out of the wagon and just start casually strolling over to this guy,
Alrighty.
and gonna bop him in the head with a hammer.
Alrighty. So for future reference, past this combat, because I already let it go with a couple of you, to get off the wagon when you were in a seated position, it's 10 feet of movement.
Oh, okay.
So it's 10 feet to move 5 feet off. No. You're good this time because I've let everybody else do it. But in the future, it's 10 feet of movement to stand up from a seated position off the wagon. All right?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah, that hits.
Why did that roll a second thing?
No idea, but 6 is still damage. Oh, it's one-handed or two-handed?
Oh, it's one-handed.
Alrighty, so you slam it into his knee.
Does it jerk like he's at the doctor's office?
A little bit, yeah. Actually, yeah, sure. He kicks Dorothy. No.
Oh no. Bonus action.
All done, I guess?
No, bonus action.
Yeah.
Command Misty to continue to get the one that's still in the trees. So
Alrighty.
yeah, Misty will travel to get there, and
Alrighty.
Misty will attack that guy.
Go for it. Yeah, that hits.
Oh,
So Misty obliterates him. Yup. The forceful. Actually, tell me how Misty does it. That's
is this one of the restrained guys or?
no.
So as Misty kind of hops to the side on the tree like a xenomorph, obviously, and just crawls along the wall. And as the guy is like, probably taking cover behind it, he feels something drip on his shoulder, which is like oily, and he looks up, and then there's this robot xenomorph that like pounces and does xenomorph kill stuff.
Alrighty. And he is now dead. Cool. Tosha.
All right, I'm going to move here.
Yep.
Quickly glance at Billy and Bernie, like, might want to watch out for the blood on this one. And bonus action, I'm casting Bloody Smite.
Alrighty.
And I need to make an attack. So let's see if I can hit my scimitar. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So 3 slashing plus 7 necrotic. Or he needs to make a con save before he takes a necrotic.
All right, con save 13.
That's a fail.
Yep.
So he takes a 7 necrotic, and he can't speak intelligently or cast spells because he's currently vomiting blood out of the mouth.
Oh yes, he cannot cast spells. Darn.
Or talk.
Oh darn. All done?
Yeah.
All right, this bandit is going to peek around the corner and actually, yeah, he's going to bolus you, Bernie. Bernie, dex save.
All right. It's not my best save.
6. The bolus wraps around your legs and immediately knocks you prone.
Alright.
That's his whole action. All right. The bandit is going to take his scimitar and do a very quick cleave across the area around all 4 of you. I need all 4 of you to give me a dex save. Bernie, disadvantage because you are prone.
All right.
Dorothy is successful. Everyone else failed. Alrighty then. That is going to be 8 points of slashing damage against the other 3. Dorothy only takes 4, as he just quickly spins in a circle, whirling it around him to gash at all of you.
I only take 5.
Oh yeah, badass. You just push your armor. Tink. Okay. Tosha, you lose track of your spell.
And he's no longer vomiting.
Oh, that's right. I do need I'm good.
You're good. Shale, you're up.
I shake my presence out of Dorothy as she just takes another yank at the guy after he finishes slashing into her. Oh, that's some fierce. And I'm gonna take a shot at him. Let's see. This will be. There we go. Only a 10.
Yep, that misses.
And then Dorothy is going to just violently rip at the leg that she still has a grasp of.
That hits. That hits, yeah.
That'll just be 11 slashing, and then she'll take a second maul attack. 16 misses, right?
When he uses his reaction, it does, yes. He will parry.
Okay. And I am going to 5, 10, 15. I'm just going to move over here because I see there's some movement. Oh, there's a guy in a web. Interesting. All right, that's it.
Yeah. Bernie, in order to stand up from this prone with the bolus, you have to use an action to break the bolus from you, or use one of your attacks to cut it off.
Did the guy get knocked prone as well, though?
The maul, when it's melee, doesn't knock prone. She has to charge to get that ability. A prone fight, both. Right. Just lying on the ground.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna use. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna attack and just try and cut off the bolus first, then stand up and attack again.
All right, give me a attack roll, please. Disadvantage because you are prone. 16 hits, 5 slashing. It has 4 hit points. Right. Cut it off.
And then I'm standing up and attacking the dude again.
Go for it.
And if I can, just for flair purposes, I want to after I cut off the rope or the bolus, I'm just gonna drop my axe, quickly pull out my pouch of gold coins, and start pummeling his face with it.
Sure, fuck it, go for it. Give me a improvised weapon check. So
Can I just do it as a punch, basically?
yeah, improvised
Right,
weapon.
okay, yeah.
It's same damage for you. It's only if you're a tavern brawler, if that's different.
Yeah. Right, you want money? Here you have some. Ah, god damn it.
14 misses on the parry. Unfortunately, he's getting drugged down by Dorothy on his leg, so you just you swing a little wide of him as you're going for him.
All right.
Alrighty, there we go. Marion.
And let's keep the one in the web alive. I'm gonna snipe the captain.
Go for it. I'd like to remind you this entire time you've just been in the carriage
Spell
shooting your
sniper's
spells
fun,
off.
man. 240 feet.
Yeah, that misses though. Past them. All done?
Yeah.
All right, Lily, your go.
Yeah, Lily is going to go ahead and she did not like getting hit, and she's gonna keep whacking this guy with her hammer.
Alrighty, go for it.
Whack. Oh, I forgot. I get 2 attacks now too, because okay.
Well, in the future, we got to use those. All right, 23 hits.
And
18 also hits. So 19. How do you want to do this?
yeah, just after the slash, like Lily looks like offended almost, and she's just like looks at as the guy looks at her, she looks at her hammer and looks at the guy, and then just whack right on the head twice.
Alrighty, so you just crash into his skull 2 times, killing him and knocking him down to the ground.
Yeah, and like before it, like as she raises it too, if that guy ever had a moment, it was just that pause moment. It's like, and this was where he knew he fucked up.
Yep. Alrighty, he's gone now. Tulsha, your go.
Let's go to bonus action, but bonus
Yeah,
action.
bonus action. Go ahead.
Misty to continue doing what she's doing. So go to the restrained guy and attack
Go for it.
with advantage because he's restrained.
14 will hit. 8 force damage. Yep, she kills him as well. And with that final foe dead, that is where combat is over, everybody. Congratulations. You all level up. No, fuck.
Oh, he said it. You all heard him.
It's recorded live.
16 more bandits now approach you, all captain level. But anyways, as the last of them now falls and all of you are, more or less fine, there you go. What would you like to do?
Damn bandits. Like,
Lily
kick
wants
his corpse once, and I pull out my axe again and just start wiping it clean of blood.
Just kind of a heads up in the future, hon. Not always going to use words to convey messages, and I thought that one was pretty clear. Someone was watching us.
Right. Sorry, I was sort of lost in thought there for a moment. I wasn't, driving a wagon isn't all that entertaining all the time,
I understand. Next time I'll just add one of these, and she holds her finger up to her mouth.
Right. I'll take note of that.
Can I search the bandit,
Sure, which one?
Captain?
Go for it.
Investigation. Got it.
How far into the travel is this?
You're a couple of hours shy of night.
Okay.
So you're at the beginnings of dusk.
Right. Well, I know this might be a little bit, it'd be sort of a detour, I suppose, but there might be a bounty out on these guys. Or at least this guy. I kicked the leader once more. Um,
Okay, nobody says
right,
anything.
well,
Awesome. Hey, people, this is a role-playing game.
I guess we're just leaving them here then.
All right.
I mean, most of the time when we come across like hunters, bandits, or bodies in general, just move them off the road. And did you want to take them with us? Is that what you?
Well, no, not all of them. I mean, usually you can just the part that people would recognize if they have a bounty, you bring the head back.
I told you find anything on that one there? Does he have like a ID card or maybe a ring or something?
So, Tolsha, as you are investigating his body, you find two things on him other than simple gear. A couple of daggers, his scimitar, decent-looking studded leather armor. You find a scientific research consent form, which is one of these more modern things that happen in the Menagerie Coast where people are willing to donate their bodies to science for use in scientific endeavors, magical endeavors, wizarding endeavors, whatever have you, if they are found dead. So apparently he was a conscientious bandit. And the second thing you find on him is actually a warrant for him, a bounty worth about 200 gold in Port Damali, as his name is Cash Atcham.
Go. Walk off into the forest. Get attacked by some Spiro.
I burn the body and all his possessions.
I swear to God, if you just suddenly have like an electric rat or whatever come out and attack us.
So I find a weird spherical ball on his belt.
Dorothy, get away from him. No, stop.
Well, other than the daggers, the scimitar, and this nice studded leather armor, there's a form here saying he donates his body to science, and then a warrant for his arrest for about 200 gold. Also, what kind of name is Cash Atcham?
Well, I mean, if we bring his head back, then we get cash. So that's, aptly named bandit, I suppose. Is that a thing here on the Menagerie Coast?
Really
None
shrugs.
of us are from the coast.
Well, I'm not sure if Cash was an aptly named bandit.
I don't understand what that whole science thing means. Like, what happens to his body?
They use it to test medical procedures.
And magical influencing.
She was asking about science.
Okay, sure. Okay. By the way, I did message you, Miriam.
Let's see.
I appreciate that.
So, like, maybe we ferment him and I don't know. What do people do?
Lily
with body?
offers the bag of holding.
Lily, your voice box is glitching out again.
Can you hear me?
I was just saying, like, it. Trying to do it in character of why I kind of like lagged a bit and came slow.
I'm just suggesting that
Lily
if,
often.
1 second, Bernie was speaking. Go ahead, Bernie.
I'm just suggesting that we, since we're not that far from Port Damali, it might be better to. I mean, 200 golds is it's a decent amount, and it'd be good to like let them know that he's taken care of as well.
I mean, I'd hate to lose the time that we've made. If you want, I mean, if no one objects, I guess we can go back. But I wouldn't mind taking them back there and doubling back here real quick if you're that concerned about it.
I mean, we could. One way to do it was if I would, or anyone else, we take one of the horses, ride back a bit quickly while the others maybe walk in the same direction we were originally heading, just in a shorter, well, a bit slower tempo. And then whoever delivers the bounty can just catch up with us.
Would you mind doing that?
Day.
Yeah, sure. I guess I got nothing better to do than just hang out with a dead person all day. Fine. Yeah, I'll be back later.
All right.
I'm taking one of the horses or donkey with me, though. How do you whisper? /W space, begin typing the name of the person you are whispering to. Hit enter to confirm that, and then space, type what you're sending. Yeah. Or you can speak out loud, because I think the group already knows probably what we're whispering about.
Get it free next level.
Oh, I mean, there is a bag of holding.
I know.
There's a bag of holding, and Lily has offered.
It keeps it preserved for a week.
We could just fast forward over this whole thing and just, I mean, unless we're going to have like random encounters every single day, then.
You can put the other 2 bodies in the holding bags. Like,
How about we like
captain as a bounty?
Stick them up next to the road, warning sign to bandits. Don't be messing with people along this neck of the woods.
Sure. Alrighty. Yeah, I misunderstood. I thought for some reason you got it at this level. I apologize.
I can get it at this level, but it's better later.
Yeah, I thought you got it earlier. Okay, my bad.
Miriam will ask to have at least both of the corpses for study later into the bag of holding. Or 2 of the corpses.
Okay.
Well, it's getting a bit late soon, so we should be finding a place to camp anyway.
All right. Then I'll see you all back here probably tomorrow, but I'm going to sleep in the cart all day tomorrow.
That's
Fair enough.
As he's been sleeping in the cart all day today as well, so it's easy enough. He'll run your bounty back for you tonight and then come back by himself. Who's lending him a horse or donkey?
Yeah, Lily would also ask if he wants to take Misty with him as like a bodyguard kind of thing.
Sure.
He's taking a horse. Riding horses are much faster than donkeys.
Okay. Then he takes one of your horses and heads off. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Nobody objected, so Marion, you get to take both of the bandits' bodies, which also have the consent forms, and put them into the bag of holding. It's ethical necromancy, people. Ethical necromancy.
The bodies fit in,
Necromancy.
or are we having to do like some?
A little finagling. Actually, no, this is the bag of holding, not holding. It's designed to support like creatures up to like gargantuan if you break them down and put them in there. It can fit a medium creature, no problem. Yeah. It's designed specifically for maintaining corpses in there. Alrighty. Well then, nighttime is now here, everybody. You begin setting up your camp, and I assume you're going to be using a whole bunch of things to keep yourselves safe, correct?
Yes.
Is there a dome yet?
Nope.
Okay, is there an alarm yet?
I didn't prepare it, I don't think. Let me double check.
That a ritual
So no dome?
It's a ritual.
She doesn't
but
have ritual casting.
I do. It's just the same way clerics have ritual casting.
Good old patrols and
Um,
hunting traps. I've got 5 hunting traps. I put them in.
Jesus
I
Christ!
put them in just the cardinal directions around us, so I just put 4 traps, and we'll just keep watch.
All right, cool. Alrighty, and watch's order for this stretch. Now that things may have changed since last time you did this. First watch, move yourself right where I'm pinging on the map. And keep in mind, Bernie, you're in charge of Kent, so if you want him to do a watch, you put it. All right, Tolsha's second, third watch, right here. All right, fourth watch. There we go. Any double ups?
Miriam, the floater, I think they're a little preoccupied with the bodies, maybe. I don't know.
I'm spending my time copying down my spells so I can use them.
Oh.
All right, so you do take a watch. That's a good thing. Then you do that during your watch.
Do I get?
Each watch is 2 hours.
Okay, I'll take 2 first level spells off my list.
All right, cool. Alrighty then, you all take your rest out here tonight. I would like a perception check from each of the watches, though. No Dorothy. Actually, no, he would be back by the time 4th watch happened, so Dorothy could help you. But Dorothy will need to sleep tomorrow as well.
Do I get advantage then because of Kent?
Yes, you do.
Guidance on myself because Miriam's occupied.
Yep. Four. Shale. Yeah.
I was gonna say, can I take it at disadvantage because Lily would probably be tinkering with maybe some shock absorbers for the wagon carriage?
I mean, if you're doing something else other than keeping watch as like your primary focus, you're doing that other thing, and then we just use your passive.
Yeah, I'm actually somewhat of no. Misty's not with her right now because Misty's with Kent. So yeah, no, she'll take a watch regularly. Sorry.
Okay. Now, Shale, during your watch, you're not terribly far from the stream, the river that flows all the way up this area that you have been following relatively closely, the Theoden River. As you're kind of doing your perimeter checks, your walks, you notice a distinct lack of sound from the water, the river that is supposed to be actively flowing. It goes southwards, yeah. And when you look over there, you see a slightly blue, slightly glowing looking ship going upstream, northwards.
I've not had good experiences that began on rivers. So, in light of that, I'm going to just gauge how quickly it's moving. From my current position, would I be able to make it? I imagine I'm not too far from camp. Run back and call the others over before it makes its way upstream.
It's not moving too terribly quickly.
I'll double back to camp. How long into my shift is this?
Probably. Actually, that would be towards the very beginning of it.
Beginning? That's unfortunate. I will wake up. Yeah, I'm just gonna wake everybody up and let them know that I see a ship coming up the river. I'm going to head back there.
All right. So you run over to the camp.
And if they want to go back to sleep, they can. I'm just letting them know what's happening.
So Shale rouses all of you, telling you about a ship heading upstream.
Okay.
What kind of ship?
Kind of weird and glowing, and I don't know if it was my magic. Look, I'm going back down there. I just thought I'd let y'all know. And Dorothy. And
I'm going with you. This sounds like a ghost ship.
Which shift is this?
the
Fourth.
All right.
Which means you're about an hour shy of having your rest, like, pretty much complete, Bernie.
Right. Can't you just tell this ship to wait for an hour or so?
Honey, go back to sleep. And Shell goes off. She
Okay. I'll be around if you. Yeah. All right. Good luck.
All right, so Marion goes with. Tolsha goes with. All right, so the three of you are going. As the three of you run back over to that area, Shale, give me a perception check.
18.
You follow your own tracks that you made because you sprinted back here to get to everybody. And as you follow those tracks back over to the water's edge and get there, you look at the water, which the sound of running water has returned, and you don't see the ship. When you look northwards, you can see up the river. I mean, despite the fact that it's dark, probably a good few hundred feet. But you don't see a ship anymore.
Can I make my way, like, I'm looking around confused. I'm sure they can tell this, but can I make my way down the river where I, like, saw the ship originating from? Maybe if I can find any trace of it being through here.
All right. So you head back down southwards. The direction it was heading was north, so south is where you saw it. And give me a survival check, see if you notice anything.
And I'm just calling back. It was down here, I swear.
Tolsha can assist you, yes.
27.
27. Geez, Shale is dedicated on this one. Now, the ship wasn't terribly large. I mean, among the ships that you've seen, it's definitely bigger than your canoe and the rafts that you've seen, but it's nowhere near the size of some of the ships that were in Port Damali. It's much smaller, slender. But the sheer size of it should have caused a updrift of water to consume the edges of the beaches and cause those sands to become wet, especially considering, you know, low tide, high tide, all of that bullshit that happens. The sands were undisturbed by moisture towards the edge.
No, this doesn't make any sense. It was coming up this way, and there's no, hey, come over here. And I wave over Miriam and Tolsha. None of the water was displaced around this area. I know what I saw, and this doesn't make any sense. None of y'all been around here before, have you? I haven't really seen a lot of ships like the one I saw. I think Shell's probably seen like a barge or two, you know, in her time in the hills, going like upriver, you know, rafts, yes, maybe a canoe or here, but would this compare to anything like a barge, or was this kind of its own?
So, out of character knowledge, it was a keelboat.
Okay.
A fairly large keelboat, but Shale has no idea what that is.
Okay.
You've seen ships similar in size, but not that.
So it was more or less like to her description, she goes like, it was a carriage on a big platform.
Yeah, long as well.
I'm sorry, I just, none of this makes sense. Maybe I don't feel tired. Something's not right here. Sorry, let's get you all back to bed.
Marion turns to Tolsha. Ghost ship?
Sounds like a ghost ship.
Wait, what's a ghost ship?
History. Let's see what the two of you know about ghost ships. Or religion.
I got history.
Well, it was a horror movie in the early 2000s. It didn't do too well on the box office.
But in all honesty, it did very well when it went into the Walmart $5 bin. Everybody seemed to get it.
Oh yeah, domestically it was fine.
Yeah.
Miriam, that was insight, not
Oh, they're right next to each
Yeah,
other.
God damn it,
They're
Marion.
right next to each other. Just add 2.
You're good. All right, 24 and 14. So, Tolsha, you're aware under specific religions that you are more acutely aware of than most individuals. You understand what I'm trying to convey to you? That people, how do I put this? Who experience something abnormal and then die can sometimes personify that. So a ship, to be able to do something like that, it would have to be influenced in that manner. An entire crew, an entire vessel, something would have to influence it in a very abnormal manner for it to become ghost-like or ethereal or ghost ship. You have never heard of something like this, but you are aware of how something like this may come about. Marion, however, you have spent some time around campfires at college parties. Maybe not too many times, but you have. And some stories can pass around about people who disturb magic, the people who use malpractice to manipulate magic on certain objects and certain individuals can cause a very strong abnormality to occur. You've heard such stories of people trying to express powerful magics onto objects that are mundane, and because of one issue that went wrong, the mundane object would be a haunted vessel, opening up the course of action or opening up creatures from beyond to personify them, envelop them. There's also been stories that go around of terrible occurrences that happen when the circumstance is perfect for spell casting, but nobody was intentionally casting a spell, like a crew of people being murdered viciously on a deck of a ship. You've heard of ships and vessels like this, where in the depths of night, someone comes in and assassinates every single living individual. And when their blood soaked into the vessel under the third moon night, that is when the blood causes the ship to become living in nature, where it keeps going through the same route that the crew had to experience, or where they were heading. Mostly ghost stories, but you know, origins of ghost stories usually have a little bit of truth. And when you're dealing with the arcane, almost anything is possible.
I know that there was something out there. I don't exactly know what it was.
Oh, I believe you. I know a couple of theories of how major or disastrous events that can befell a people or crew can lead to basically spirits not passing on. I haven't heard of a ship doing it, but
I mean, aren't ghosts supposed to be like cursed or something? You're supposed to stay away from them?
In this case, it's possible you saw what remains of a haunted vessel after a tragedy occurred on it. It became like this on the right circumstances.
maybe it has to do with the whole Craven thing a year ago? I mean, you saw Palma Flora. It would not surprise me if it destroyed several ships.
I mean, the ship looked like it was intact. I didn't really see anybody on it or nothing, just the vessel itself. And I assume we're having this conversation as we're making our way back to camp.
Yeah, sure.
Well, if you see it next time, try to observe it a bit longer or have Dorothy come and get us.
Assumed it was like a ghost. I didn't want to get cursed or nothing, or at least.
I mean, provided you don't interact with it, you shouldn't. Simply observing shouldn't harm you.
I mean, to be fair, I thought it was something that interests y'all more than myself. I've seen some pretty spectacular things, but I'm not really too keen on weird visages and magical things.
That's fair. Magic in both divine or arcane is not for everyone.
It looked beautiful, though, eerily so. It's very quiet. No sounds. Well,
No.
I hope y'all sleep well. I didn't mean to get you up. Take some extra time if you need to. I'll make sure to do breakfast a little bit later.
Thank you, Shale.
So, you're all back at camp. Everyone other than Shale goes back to sleep, and a couple of hours later, everyone begins waking up fully with a long rest completed. Go ahead, restore hit points, spell slots, yada yadas. And, actually, I think that is a good place for us to go ahead and go on break, everybody. Yeah, not bad at all. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. We are back. Okay, I clicked the wrong screen on accident, but hey, we're here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to also hang out with us if you would like. You can become a... Wow, I fucked up my entire group by not clicking on the right screen. Wow. Okay. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to support us a little bit further, consider becoming a member on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at like $2, I think, or some shit like that. I don't know. And if you are interested in joining our community, we do have open slots and other games available. Be sure to reach out to me and let me know. We're already on this screen. Where last we left off, the party had begun their adventure, heading northwards up the Tyrrhidon River in hopes of finding Yarsko, the previous owner of the tavern that their family had a little bit of dealings with before. The Riptide Tavern. Hoping to find some more information about your father. That's to be determined once you get there. However, since you are heading up there, or were heading up there, you all noticed a group of bandits ready in wake of an ambush against you all. Luckily, Shale stopped that surprise encounter from happening, and all of you took them out very quickly. Where you discovered that these bandits were not, well, all bad, morally bankrupt for being bandits, but ethically sound as they donate their bodies to science and magical science, no matter what needs to transpire. So, apparently they do care about progress in some shape, way, or form, but, you know, gotta eat, gotta eat. Anyways, after taking a couple of the dead bodies and returning the other one back for a bounty that was on their head, back at Port de Mali, you all decided to bunker down here for the night. Go to sleeps. Now, as you all are sleeping here, Shale, in the middle of the last watch, noticed that there was some type of lack of sound coming from the river beside you all. And you went to investigate, where you realized there appeared to be some type of ghostly ship moving across the water without making any noise or disturbing anything in its wake. You ran back to camp to warn your family about this, and upon two of them deciding to wake up fully and come out to you, you discover that the ship was no longer there. Very strange occurrence. And after a little bit of thought between Tolsha, Marion, they both learn that sometimes things like this can happen, where these ships can become possessed, or maybe even just an echo of what its last task or where it was last going would remain. And you all went back to camp. The two went to sleep. Everybody's now awake. Congratulations, it's morning. So, players, on to the next stretch of this journey. Shale, roll me a new survival check.
24.
Much better. Moving through the forest, you find a much larger pseudo path that looks like tracks have been here from weeks, if not months ago, of people tracking through this area to head northward. So you end up following those, which makes your travel time, well, considerably better at this point. There's only a handful of rocks you really have to like push out of the way and go over, but you're all making very good time on this day and this stretch of the journey. Heading up northwards, Shale did the survival. We're using your passive. Bernie is handling the animals as you're all moving, and Tolsha's sitting up front, correct?
Yes, although for the first part of the day, I would like to go to Miriam and be like, hey, you know the blood you promised me?
Yes.
Mind if I test the one spell out using yours?
Rolls up my wrist, gets my knife. I know medical procedures, so I'll make sure I'm not killing myself.
Get that little vial out. collect Miriam's blood, put a cap on it, then also do the same for my own.
Okay.
And then I will take 10 minutes to ritually cast Blood Bond.
Alrighty, roll that in chat for us. So, the two of you gain a pseudo connection to one another's emotions right now. You feel like you can sense each other within, well, a distance, and you both feel slightly more invigorated because of this. And everybody else just watched Tolsha, well, Marion cut across his forearm, bleed into a vial, and now the two of them are just nodding at one another about 10 minutes later. But yeah, that works. All right. Yeah?
I'm just looking at them a bit weird. Like, what are you doing over there? If you
Pay
don't
no
mind me
attention to the man behind the blood.
Lily will look to Bernie, and this is she's using her writing pad right now. I believe they're reinforcing their blood bonds as siblings. Maybe.
So, like, sort of making it official, I suppose.
Yes, I've read about it in books.
Well, I lean in a bit closer and go like, it's not some kind of like forbidden magic, is it?
No, it's not forbidden magic. And then Lily purposely doesn't add here onto the writing pad.
All right. So, with all of that, since you guys are doing that in the back of the cart, Shale, I need you to roll me a perception check since you're the only one keeping watch. Well, Bernie as well. Bernie, you may roll as well.
18.
Well, Kent's in the back of the area with all of you. You can't really see outside of a wagon. There's no windows or anything. All right, 18. Bernie, you're just enjoying a less bumpy path right now.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
making sure the horses are tended to, and they're pretty good horses. I mean, a little on the light side for feed. You imagine the owner of them was very minimalist with how they were feeding them.
Right.
But, yeah. Anywho. Shale, as you are journeying, you break out of the forest itself. And you notice that the segments of beaches seem to be getting more spread apart by open plains, almost like the vegetation is growing over top of the little bit of sandy area. And you are in a much thicker section of the forest, of the river right now. The distance across it seems to be, well, as best as you can tell, maybe a couple of miles, 3 miles, 4 miles. Much thicker edge of it. And as you're all traveling, Shale, from what you've learned previously, this is a roundabout's the area that you are supposed to be looking for, well, her home, Yarsko. And not very far away from where you broke out of the forest, you see what appears to be a very humble cabin, simple, not terribly large, seated maybe a good 50 feet from docks that have a handful of small rowboats tied to it already. You notice that there is a chopping of wood happening near that building, and, well, it's the first structure you've seen out here since you've been traveling.
I look over my shoulder at Bernie and I point over. Is it on our side or the opposite side of the river?
It is on your side.
On our side. Okay. No signage or anything along the road, I take it.
No, nothing. In fact, there's like a very old path that looks, well, not very well traveled, maybe a couple of months ago at best. But no signs. There looks to be broken down fencing that looks incredibly aged, and a lot of other wood out here that seems to be worked right now.
I think we're here. Is there somebody who would like to go greet him? Or do y'all just want to go up there?
I think we should all just go up there.
Well, except for Kurt, he's shitting off the wagon again.
Ugh. I'm gonna keep sleeping, thank you.
The person chopping wood, just keeping an eye on them as we're like rolling up. Does the trail off towards the cabin, is that going to be accessible for our... Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to divert some of the wreckage of fencing to get up there, but you should be able to get up there, no problem.
Okay.
It's easier to travel this area than it was the forest.
I'm just going to keep eyes on the individual chopping and kind of go back and forth to like the home itself, see if I can see anybody else maybe peering out or something. And if they catch sight of us, just put a hand in the air, kind of acknowledging.
Once you all are maybe 100 feet away, the chopping seems to end momentarily, and at this point you can see what looks to be a fairly stout, round, tan dwarven woman who turns and looks over towards you all. She kind of just throws the axe into the larger stump she was chopping the wood into, and begins wiping her hands on an apron around her waist. She waves.
Bernie waves as well.
Hello?
Hello.
Howdy, man.
Are you bringing me my shipment?
No, we were in this area looking for a person. Goes by the name of Yasko.
They grab like the handle of the hand axe, yank it out, put up another plank of wood, and go back to chopping. What do you want with Yarsko? I assume you're all approaching
Yeah.
as you're talking about this.
Well, we just like to ask her some questions. We came to Palma Flora a little while ago, and well, we were looking for the Riptide Tavern.
Well, then you must know the Palma Flora is in ruins right now. The tavern's gone.
Yes, we found out, but we'd still like to talk with the previous owner.
Well, approach yourselves on over here. You look to have at least a few strapping people, and we need to get to some work to finish building this cabin, so help me out while you talk.
Okay. I'm just gonna lead the carriage a little bit closer, and if there's like a
Place yourselves
decent
on the-
tree or something to just tie the horses to, I'll park it there.
Sure. There's a tree off map that you could park at, and go ahead and put yourselves onto the map itself now that you're here. You guys can see this one,
Mhm.
right? Okay, good.
Oh,
As you all start approaching, she'll continue with the chopping of her wood. All right. Any of you that got good green thumbs, we need to go check the vegetation, water all of them over there. Any of you big, strong fellas or lasses, we got a little bit more wood cutting that needs to happen to fix up the back door of the cabin. It got a little messy. And, well, if any of you other people have anything else that you're not good at, you can pick up all of the scraps and stack it over near the docks for me.
Right. Sure, we can help out. Yeah. Excuse me. Are you living here alone, or it seems
Bernie.
a bit unsafe?
personal questions, no. And she'll like,
What?
pick-
I'm just trying to. We
Grab
encountered
that.
some band. What?
right over there. Get that pile. Come on.
Right. Fine.
So everybody move yourselves to where you will be helping out. And since Lily is the artificer who has proficiency in every skill ever, she'll be floating around doing whatever.
I'll just be carrying heavy stuff, I suppose.
All right.
I'm gonna assist with the wood chopping.
The back door, how messed up is it?
The back door is right where you're standing. It's not even there. There's not a door. There's like the trimmings on the inside of the door that are snapped and broken in many different places. This place looks to be recently renovated, and not the best renovations. Like kind of, someone who's just making sure it's livable.
Can I fix the snap sections with mending?
Sure. It's going to take you like 20 minutes to get all of them because you have to do 1 foot at a time, 1 minute each. All right. Oh, thank you. Come over here. Help me out with the wood chopping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you are on the map. Good.
It's a
So,
lovely home, by the way. I can't wait to see when it's finished.
oh yeah, me neither. It's been a long time since I've been out this way and seen it anyways. And, well, nature don't take too kindly to things when you don't upkeep, Anyways, what business you all got with Yarsko? Keeps chopping away.
We were looking to inquire about someone who may have frequented it, the Riptide Tavern, quite a lot. Hopefully during their time when they were the owner of it.
Well, I worked there for a little while. Who are you talking about?
We don't have an exact name other than a partial description.
Listen, if all of you are debt collectors, I can't really help you out that much, employee confidentialities and all that.
No, not debt collectors.
Well, like dad collectors. Sorry, I'll just be carrying this thing.
She just blinks at you twice after you said that.
Well, he's not wrong. Well, that'd be who we're looking for. It turns out our father might have worked or frequented that place.
She looks between each of you.
Yes, we're all related. As I struggle to hold this one big 2x4 off to the docks.
Hey, you have double carrying capacity, sir.
Right.
It's yeah. You're good at carrying things. It's just lifting heavy things sucks.
Yeah. Look, we have partial description of a bit taller than him, points to Bernie. Solid build, not very large, looks human, jet black hair, sometimes either a mustache or mutton chops with a bit of red in there. Never seen with like a scar or scratch on them.
She hands you the axe shale while she begins picking up the wood, letting you be the muscle in this endeavor. Well, I think I know who you're talking about, but you all claim to be his kids?
Well, we've got letters from him, and Shell's gonna like nod over to Tulsha. I think she had them.
Didn't we burn those?
Mm-hmm. The originals. Tulsha copied all of them.
Oh, right.
All right.
Yeah, he left inheritance for us there, and apparently he didn't use his real name for any of us other than Luke's fourth Riptide.
Oh, you know, that man is something else.
You know him?
Well, of course. I'm Yarsko. It's a pleasure.
I figured, and indeed it is.
And she'll stop for a second and, you know, actively shake your hand, Shale. You know, you're, He told me he was having people stop by and do things, but he didn't tell me that they were his children. He's kind of fucked up, isn't he?
We met each other, really, what, like a month and a half ago?
Really?
Really.
So, wait. You all have the same dad. I hate to ask this, but... Ma?
Different mothers. That one is adopted. And I point to Lily.
That slimy pig!
Well, I mean, they have the same mother, pointing to Kurt and Bernie.
Yes. That's...
You know, I didn't want to say anything, but you two do look very, very similar.
We're aware he's 50% dick.
You ain't kidding. And she keeps, you know.
Right. So, and, well, there's also Glendale here. He's, my name's Bernie, by the way.
Pleasure, Bernie.
Wendell stayed
She'll
outside of the other
shake your
place.
hand.
He didn't come with us.
No, I asked you guys during downtime if you were bringing him or not, and he'll just be full
Oh,
NPC hanging
yeah.
out. Yeah. So yeah, he, from the carriage, not helping with anything, just... Actually, no, that's a lie. He'll go handle the veggies, water them, tend to them. He has a little bit of a green thumb.
Why the hell didn't we send him back with the horse?
I don't...
Because we knew he wouldn't come back.
Well, I mean, he didn't want to.
Yeah.
Also, handing in bounties isn't exactly...
Oh, yeah. That would have been fun.
You know?
Is there one with my picture back there?
Yeah, right? Let me just flip through the... Just...
You're worth 500 platinum.
Well, anyways, shoot, I made a deal with him. So a deal's a deal. Since all of you are here, you gotta do me a favor before I'm allowed to help you out.
Okay.
What?
That's his orders, not mine. Apparently he wants to teach you all a lesson of some kind. I thought it was more sinister than, well, like a parental lesson.
He's going to teach lessons. He needs to get the times of the exams right.
What?
I'm quite unsure.
He sent us to a place that was broken down where everyone moved. As opposed to where you might actually be.
Well, to be fair, none of us really expected Craven to happen, you know? And thanks for bringing up the downfall of a business I was working on for over 75 years.
Well, at least you didn't get trapped at the Brackwater.
Brackwater? No. Nah, after all of this happened, I came up here. It's my ma's old property before she, you know, went estranged. And... yeah. Decided, I got enough in savings and... yeah, why not go for a calmer lifestyle, you know?
That's
Well,
fair.
I mean, is it safe, though? We did encounter some bandits on our way here.
Honey, I ran a tavern in town.
Oh.
Bandits aren't really a big problem for me.
Well, that's fair enough. I didn't mean to imply you're not capable of handling yourself or anything.
Bernie,
Wow.
I'm
What?
sure we could be digging out here for days and weeks before we find a penny off this poor little dwarven woman. She's the smart type.
See, now you speak more like your father than anybody. She pats you on the shoulder, Shale.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
He has a way with words. Good way, even.
Huh.
I always liked the fella. I mean, once in a while he was a little more ambitious than I think the average folk needs to be. But clearly I was right. She just looks between all of you.
Yeah.
Anyways, you all have to do one thing for me of substance to prove that you're okay, folk. And then I'm able to tell you what it is he left with me, in case you all happen to come through.
You mean in case we're coming through, we're already here?
Right? He anticipated that. So,
I
I got a couple of things.
tire of these puzzles and riddles. I mean, right. Well, let's get to it then. What is it we need to prove here?
Well, you need to get me Doxy.
And what is that?
My dog. She went missing a couple of weeks ago. She was playing out on the docks late at night, and, well, I haven't been able to find her since. Now, most of the bigger predators stay within the forest, and, well, she's very good, very well trained. And she hasn't come back. Find her for me.
Species is she?
A dachshund. That's why I named her Doxy.
Oh, one of those small sausage dogs.
And
Right,
she went
right.
missing on the dock.
Yeah, she did.
Is a dog that looks like a sausage?
They're longer little dogs, yeah. I got portraits made of her inside. You want to see any?
Oh, I'd love to.
She'll go over to the front door and open it wide for all of you to step in. It's a very humble home. There appears to be a cot in one corner that has like a section of a wall hiding it. There appears to be an outhouse on the outside of the building itself. A simple kitchen, a simple chair to sit in. Like, this is not a place that's meant to receive guests. This is a place for a single person to live out their days. And the only thing that looks nice in here are the magnificent 17 hand-painted portraits of her dog on the walls.
Someone's obsessed.
Yes.
He's one of those dog owners.
Mm.
And you see the dog in many different, very beautiful poses in different places that you imagine are probably across the Menagerie Coast that she has been to, and a few of them that seem more fantastic in nature. One in particular seems to have a drawing of her mounting the dog with a very large battle axe charging into battle, and she's definitely one of those people.
Is there another where it looks like it's basically the George Washington crossing the river picture, except it's her and her dog on the boat?
Sure, yes, yes,
Is there at least one Halloween one?
of course. But anyway, she pulls out one of the smaller ones that is just a simple portrait of her sitting in what looks to be her tavern with a group photo of, well, not photo, group portrait of different various employees. She seems to be a little younger, not terribly much so, but a little younger. And, yeah, she's just holding her dog on her lap, smiling a mile wide. This is, that's the baby girl. She answers to Princess, Doxy, Little One, Wiener. She doesn't like being called Babe, though. That's usually when I'm a little mad at her, you know, tinkling in the cot.
How long ago did she disappear?
2 weeks.
You don't have any, like, neighbors nearby or friends of hers?
Oh, we're pretty well secluded. Across the river, there's a couple of other cabins out here. I don't much talk to the neighbors in particular. And Doxy is a phenomenal swimmer, by the way. This river is not enough to take her down at all.
So she could have crossed it.
I believe so, yeah.
The force around these parts, I mean, are there any predators that you're aware of?
Oh, yeah, there's bears. There's a couple of cougars out there as well. Wolves, badgers. But, yeah, no, she's a smart whippersnap. She doesn't really spend much time in places where she is not the biggest, scariest thing. You know, little scaredy cat. But yeah, if all of you can find me Doxy or find out what happened to her, she'll be able to tell if you're good folk or not.
Well, we'll certainly do our best to bring back your little princess.
Thank you. Well, I don't have much in the way of teas to offer all of you, so apologize. But we got plenty of water from the stream. Help yourselves. Drink northwards, not southwards.
That's fair.
The south side is where we pee.
Oh.
And clean the outhouse from. Always drink upstream, never down.
As she mentions the water too, Lily is there a window nearby, I assume?
There's breaks and openings and the broken door and a window, yes.
In one of the breaks, probably, it's now currently filled with a small little tube thing. Because as I was putting in the roll 20, Lily's just been like super focused at this point. And there's like a little spout out of it. And Lily kind of put a sign on top of it now that goes in here. It says rainwater to drinking water.
Huh. Very nice. But yeah, we got a couple of neighbors across the way. She's not much of a sneaky little one. She's very loud. Yaps a lot.
See. Well, do you don't think any of your neighbors would have want to kidnap your dog, do you?
Well, if they do, please put them in the ground. That's a heinous crime. You don't steal somebody's dog.
No. Well, yes, I mean, just trying to get some sort of gist on where we should start looking here.
At the dogs, but if I put them in the ground, do you mean kill them or scare them straight? Because there's a very big difference there.
If you're the type of person who would steal a poor, innocent dog from their master, they deserve death.
Okay,
Fair
so
enough.
we're going with Carol Baskins. Got it.
Well, it's not. They deserve some punishment, yes, but death is not. Well, according to the law, at least.
Is the law always correct about proper punishments?
Well, yes.
Ignore him. He's a paladin.
And
What kind of foods does Doxy like?
She's a really big fan of any type of meats. Squirrel is her favorite. She also enjoys diced up carrots, but you gotta skin them first because she can't eat the peels around the carrots. And not too many either. It gives her a little bit of a tummy ache. And yeah, those are her favorite.
All right. Well, we're just gonna take a couple carrots out the garden before we leave, if that's all right.
Sure, that's no problem at all. Wonderful. Well, pleasure meeting all of you, and I'm going to do my best not think about the biology of it all. You have a good one.
Biology of the dog? Oh,
No,
right.
of-
Yes.
Well, I mean, aside from the fact that that one's not biologically related, I think.
Oh, that makes this so much easier. Okay, that's
Yeah,
a lot
she
better.
is literally adopted.
Very good, very good. All right. Hey, my youngest brother was adopted.
I see.
But anyways, enough of a break from me. I'm gonna go back to making myself let's make a nice little round table for outside. Picnics in the open. Sounds good. She'll go back out to work.
Before we start looking, though, is there? I mean, food is all well and good, but do you have some sort of maybe a wrap of cloth or something we could bring along so that she'd be able to pick up from your scent?
You could bring her bed with you.
Well, sure, but that doesn't have your scent, does it?
Yes, it does. It's in my cot. That's where we sleep together.
Okay. I suppose I was hoping maybe something that would be a bit easy to handle, like a scarf or
Fine,
something.
Fine. And she'll take off her apron and hand it to you.
Okay, well, that'll work, I suppose. Thanks.
Oh man, Boney's getting smooth, getting women to give him their articles of clothing.
Yeah, like a strip.
Alrighty. Well, if you don't mind, I'll keep him here so he can keep helping me with the garden. I really need to get the knack at this. I'm not very good at it, and he seems to know what he's doing.
Kent, if you wouldn't mind, just you can stay here as well and watch the horses and stuff and help out.
Yeah, no worries.
Kent's a very good fellow. He's my pupil, I suppose.
Did you guys want to go speak with the neighbors before we start gallivanting around the forest?
Definitely check the dock first, as that's where Doxy was seen last.
Sure.
All right. So, for a mental visual of what you were looking at, the area across the river, right where she's positioned, is about a mile wide. If you go southwards, that gets up to like 3 miles wide. And if you go more northwards, that can shrink down to less than a mile, more than a mile, give or take. But you guys do have your canoes, so. And we put boats here for no reason because you got your own canoes. All right.
Marion's gonna check under the dock just to make sure this dog didn't just drown.
Oh, okay. So, Marion, roll me an investigation at the dock.
I want to actually look around the dock to see if I can find any footprints.
I want. Show me a corgi. Or dachshund, sorry.
All right. So you're looking for footprints, Tosha. Roll me an investigation as well. Marion, you look underneath the dock. There is no dachshund. You look around the area, and there's clearly a pole that has some like tight rope wrapped around it that she probably scratched at a lot just to play scratch. Dogs do that too, in case cat owners are confused. And there doesn't seem to be any signs of the dachshund's presence in the water or around that specific little area. Tolsha, as you go over here, looking for any footprints or anything like that, there doesn't appear to be very much that would resonate with you in that way, like somebody came over here. However, both of you, around the same time, as you're looking at all of this, notice that not very far away from the dock itself, there appears to be a slight indent into the, what's that called?
Bank?
The bank, thank you. In the bank. That almost resembles that of a pointed tip of a boat.
Want to go over there?
All right. Looks a little older. Not terribly fresh, but definitely noticeable as a indent from a boat.
Does it look like an indent from any of the boats currently around here? On this side?
Unfortunately, you're not that well versed in boats, Tulsha.
Bernie, you're a boat guy, right?
Well, yes, I suppose that's one way of. Yeah.
Can you
What-
tell?
what?
Can you tell this came from any of the boats over here?
If what?
This indent.
Go over and have a look.
All right. Bernie, I would like you to roll me a water vehicles check utilizing. Let's go with wisdom.
Guidance.
I'm gonna use session inspiration as well.
Roll your
That could've
d4.
been better.
12. Guys, you're only level 5. 12's not
Yeah.
bad.
I rolled a 2 and a 5 on the dice.
Yeah, it happens. Trust me, we know. But 12. It's clear to tell that the indent does not match any of the boats around here. These boats are simple rowboats. And the indent seems to go deeper into the bank and along the bed for a little bit, which would suggest something bigger than those rowboats. Not obnoxiously bigger, but bigger nonetheless.
Well, it looks like it would have been slightly bigger. Maybe some sort of, I don't know, small keel boat, maybe. Nothing bigger than that, I'd say, but.
Are you suggesting? I'm assuming that we were told about the whole ghost ship encounter. Those that stayed back, right?
Shale, would you have communicated that to them?
Absolutely.
And there we go. Yes.
Bernie, are you suggesting that Doxy was kidnapped by ghosts?
Those are your words. I mean, I'm a bit. I wouldn't go around blaming this dog disappearance on ghosts. But I mean, if we go and speak with the neighbors, and maybe we'll find some larger fishing vessel or something that's a bit more. That could also have been.
I mean, I think the two most obvious outcomes are either she was taken and still alive, probably with someone else, or she's probably dead somewhere in the forest. And Shale is very careful to drop her voice and make sure that she's out of earshot of Yorsko when she says that.
And it might be wise, given what was seen last night and the evidence we've seen with this boat, to get rumors about that ghost ship, if there are any stories.
It also could have been bandits who took the dog.
I mean, you would have to be extremely morally bankrupt to take someone's dog.
True, but they're bandits.
I mean, I would think that even bandits have some sort of standard. Those ones from before donated their bodies to science, for example.
You're not wrong.
Coaches typically don't have many standards, I'll let you know. It's a matter of they see themselves higher up than those under them.
Well, I would suggest we go and speak with those neighbors she mentioned. And, well, I mean, if you want to ask about this ghost ship as well, you might. Maybe she'll have some more answers.
What do you think, Bernie? Should we take the boats in the dock there? See if Yasko will let us commandeer or grab our canoes?
Well, it doesn't hurt to ask if we could borrow them at least.
I mean, they seem safe enough, right? I haven't tested ours either. There's a little concern in Shell's voice.
I'm just going over to look at the boats and just see if they are.
They're old.
Right. Right. Well,
These are not boats she brought with her. These are boats that were probably already here from her family estate.
right. Well, I suppose they might need a bit of renovation, restoration. I mean.
Right, I'll get ours then, and Shell just goes back to the wagon.
Right. Well, canoes it is.
All right. Now, keep in mind, Marion can carry a single canoe by himself. The other canoe, because of carrying capacities, Bernie could carry by himself, but any other duo could carry together. When you're not rowing. But anyways, you gather that up, you head over to the waters, and you start going across. So, who are the rowers?
Oh, we'll be rowing at least. I suppose in a canoe, if it's like 3-person canoe, then at least 2 would be rowing per.
I'll be in one
Correct.
boat.
So we have Shale in one boat. Bernie, you tell me where your brother goes. I assume with you.
Sure.
I'll get in the boat with Marion.
So Marion's in a boat with Tolsha. Who's going to be the third in their boat? Shale? Make it easy. Then that's me, Bernie, and Kurt in the other one. Alrighty. So, you begin rowing across the waters. It's very easy. The stream itself is not very powerful. It does push you southwards a little bit, but so long as you angle yourself a little bit more northwards, you get to your destination fairly easily. And in under 35 minutes, you all make it to the other side. Now, where you all pop out across from where these docks were, there is a bank you could ram into and, go up onto. Well, it's a mile, so yes. And other than Bernie, none of you are really good rowers. So, yeah, 35 minutes.
Can I say I've instructed Glendale to look after Dorothy for a few hours?
Sure. Sure. Yeah, that's not an issue. He likes Dorothy more than any of you, so. Yeah. But anyways, you get to the other side, and you do see upstream, maybe 300-400 feet or so, there does appear to be another dock that has a couple of boats that look newer, more refreshed looking.
Well, I suppose that's where we're going.
All right. So you go upstream.
As we're rowing across, I'm going to ask Tolsha and Marion, does Bernie seem rather, how do I put this, accusatory to either of you?
He's a paladin.
Yeah, he's a paladin.
I don't understand what your meaning is.
They're like magical police. No, that's not a word. Town's guard, army, and all in one character.
Like a god. Okay.
They work for a god.
No, she said like a guard.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. It rubs the wrong way, I think, when you meet somebody and just start asking questions. We should be a little careful with that, I think.
Meanwhile, in the other boat, Lily is just watching Bernie row probably, and and he's probably facing her at that point too, and she's just kind of lifting up the writing pad with questions like, are you always so authoritarian, judgmental as a paladin, or is it your god? By the way, what god do you follow?
Are we
Also-
there yet?
Are we there yet?
I mean,
Just
what
keep
do you,
writing as he-
I'm not. I'm not. Where is this coming from? Have I offended anyone?
What?
What?
No, I was just curious. Did you know that I made a paste that would let me mimic a divine smite, as it is called?
A paste, you say?
Yes, I wipe it on my weapon and then it glows and I hit things with it.
Well,
I call it divine
Okay.
paste, but I'm still workshopping names.
but is it divine though? It doesn't come from a god, does it?
Lily kind of like avoids eye contact as in a minor flashback, she kind of remembers rummaging through some of Bernie's like holy stuff, like not like any of the big things he uses, but some of his like maybe some prayer beads if there were any there.
I mean, if you want to call it divine paste, then well, then it better taste well, I suppose. But
You don't want to taste it, trust me.
no, that was meant to be a joke. Well, I've had my fair share of having to deal with, criminals and these other, well, delinquents at times. That doesn't mean I'm like trying to be judgmental or anything, but I mean, it may have rubbed off on me, I suppose.
It does sound that way a bit. By the way, I saw those three over there just whispering and talking amongst themselves. What do you think they're chatting about?
I wouldn't know. Why don't we go and ask them if that's... Maybe they're just trying to plan a prank or something.
Probably not. That's my shtick. Also, Kurt's.
Right, yeah, that's true. You're the two pranksters. I'm not sure we should... Right, well... in any case, why don't we go over and regroup, I'd say.
All right. So, you all make it over to the dock, being able to tie yourselves off and exit out onto the property. Now, this dock is far nicer than the other dock that you saw. That's kind of, unattended. It is well polished, maintained. Bernie, you can tell that there's fresher wax around the large studs that stick into the ground as well. That clearly they seem to be upkeeping this very frequently, very well as well. There's a couple of boats that look very, very pristine in nature. And as you all are perching there, you hear somebody from fairly far away start yelling out, "Excuse me, this is private property."
Yes, hello. We would just like to ask some questions.
What? You could have at least made yourselves, like, announced, like, through a letter or something? Haven't you ever heard of a messenger hawk?
Lily is going to quickly write like an announcement on her writing pad and just like throw it at the guy.
Hold on. Can we make a check? Like, are these rich assholes on their summer home?
Do you need to make a check?
I just want to.
Insight. Insight.
Well, I know nothing.
8. You haven't even seen them yet. Lily, you've heard people that sound like this before from Marion's school.
Yeah.
But anyways, you all are standing on the docks. I would like all of you to roll me a perception check to see if you notice who's yelling right now.
Yeah, but Lily does just throw a writing pad with an announcement.
Another 3.
At the direction of the voice.
All right, so you no longer have your writing pad. Cool. What the hell is that? That is obnoxious. Ah! Tolsha and Bernie and Shale and Lily. Yep. So specifically not Marion. All notice standing slightly above the grass appears to be a halfling man wearing very, very fine clothing out here. I mean, it looks like the Sunday best for most people as they're strolling through what appears to be a very lovely garden out here. And there appears to be another halfling sitting on a bench, maybe 40 feet back or so, with a large pink parasol over her head, looking at you all kind of a little scared as he's standing there with his hands on his hip. And Marion, you need to learn how to look down once in a while, buddy. It's just you completely miss him from your in position.
Bernie, what's it called when we put the boats somewhere? Like we bring them onto the land part?
Beaching?
Running aground?
Yeah, we were beaching our boats. We're kind of tired going up the river here, and Shell's like kind of trying to flex out and relax. I'm sure even the short mile is leaving some kind of burn on her.
Yes, terribly sorry for the intrusion. You see, we've been hired to look for someone's missing animal that's been gone for 2 weeks, and we've been going up and down the stream searching for this missing animal for quite some time today. And it's currently led us in this direction. You would, of course, you'd be likely to help us, right?
Excuse me. No, I am not interested in helping anybody else, and none of you are allowed on my property, so I advise you to leave. Marion?
Wait, did they just call my name?
The woman sitting on the bench did.
Yes. I look over to the voice. Who is this?
Roll me a history check. Let's see if you remember.
Wait. If this is, can I also
It's
roll
not
history
because they're
because
halflings. 23.
23. Marion. Lily, unfortunately, this happened before you.
Oh, okay.
Or potentially. Marion, when you were taking your exam to get accepted into the Lyceum, there was 6 other students taking their exams at the exact same time. Many of them had different, backgrounds, fortunes to get into this position of scholarship. Somehow your mom was able to afford sending you here because, being a cleric is not really a paid job under most religions.
Unless you're the only cleric in a fort.
But that woman looks very much like a slightly older version of a halfling girl that was taking that exam at the same time as you. Marion, I'm sorry. Please, Jensen, let them in. They're good. He's good folk. I know he goes to the... I'm sorry. You go to the Lyceum, right? You got accepted?
Yes, we took the exam together.
Right. Yeah, you had that good understanding of evocation that I failed. And she like kicks off of the little bench and walks over with her very nice parasol, very nice dress, and very high standing lifestyle that she has. Hi, it's been so long. And she like holds out her hand up to you, Marion, to like bring you down.
I will crouch.
You know, she'll pull you down and give you a kiss on the cheek. Oh, it's been such a long time. You know, we all thought that you had a very good aptitude for getting in there. Excuse me. Is this like a ex of yours or something? No. We both took our wizarding exams with one another. He got accepted, I think, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's no way you would have failed. Yeah. Oh. And he like adjusts his nice white coat. Very well. So, welcome to our humble estate. This is the Wise Mouse, lovely beachfront property that we have here. And my name is Janser. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's Janser Wise Mouse.
Janser Wise Mouse. Yes, and well, of course, you can make my introduction to everybody else. Her name was Linlos. Linlos Thistlecrest. Well, for now, and she holds out her hand with a very, very large diamond on it. Like, if that was on any of your hands, it would be big. And she's a halfling.
So it's a big enough diamond to bring someone back from the dead.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, this is such a lovely surprise. You said you had questions for? I'm so... Oh, honey, I'm going to run inside and go make us some lemonade, okay? Yes, of course. That sounds lovely. I suppose I'll bring you all over towards our patio area. He looks you up and down suspiciously, Marion, and I don't think we're going to have anything suitable for you.
It is quite all right. Your hospitality is most gracious.
Yeah, of course. And Janser just prances over towards a patio to this very lovely but small home. And by small, I mean it looks to be the normal average size of a nice home, but for halflings, that's damn near mansion size.
When he gets out of earshot, I lean down to everyone. It's like I whisper, "You learn these things going to school with elves."
And also, like when you lean down, Lily is looking at you like and giving you that look like, "Is this an ex you never told me about?" Oh my! I'm gonna tell someone. I'm gonna tell mom. It's just
Literally
a single
only knew
look,
her
but
for
you know it.
one long day that we had to take those tests in.
Kosha,
How long-
have you met a short elf before? I don't know. What's he talking about?
Halflings, they're one of the smaller.
Right,
folk.
that's what I thought too, but he just said elves.
I lean down. I meant rich people.
Well,
The kind
They're-
that throw money thinking it's meaningful.
Right.
well, to be fair, there are elves with dwarfism. Or would that be gnomism?
I suppose that we're all kind of rich
No,
right
it's not
now.
a curse. It's not a curse. It's not gnomism.
Lily erases what she wrote and then writes down, "I once met an elf with dwarfism." Oh, no, not sorry, other way around. A dwarf with elfism.
I hate you all. Anyways, you get over to the very, very lovely patio where all of the laid stone bricks are hand chiseled and crafted to imprint some type of design here. There's not a single weed popping out in between all of these bricks as well. And now that you're this far in and you look at the rest of this estate they have out here, you see that there are 3 or 4 other halfling servants moving around, cleaning, gardening, doing other choice things as well. And Linlos comes back out very quickly. Hi. So we have handmade lemonade. We grow the lemons here ourselves. Well, I grew them. He was away on a business trip. So I decided to get a green thumb since I didn't have a blue thumb. Marion, that's a common turn of phrase. Blue thumb is like magical in nature.
Like
Yeah.
like how people refer to royalty as blue blood. Gotcha.
So, here you go. And she puts little glasses in front of each of you, which to them are very tall glasses. And starts sipping. Lovely.
I'll take your glasses. Start sipping as well.
Do any of you not have a sweet tooth? Like, you don't like sweets that much?
Yeah, not
Lily?
really.
Lily does like sweet things, but her favorite stuff is spicy. Because Dragonborn.
Okay. So, Shale, not a big fan of
Yeah,
sweet.
no, more.
Okay. This, you can almost feel the sugar against your teeth as you sip it. It is that, like, obnoxious level of sweetness that, like, there's sour in there somewhere. Gotta dig for
One
it.
taste and puts it down.
This is very good. Linlos, was it?
Yes, Linlos and Janser.
Um,
And who are the rest of you?
my name is Burren Cragless. You can call me Bernie.
Burren?
Everyone does it.
Well, I would never be so disrespectful as to not remember your true name, sir. Burren is easy enough.
Well, thank you. That means a lot, actually.
As Janser gives you the stink look.
My name's Shale Skinner. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for the hospitality.
Yes, of course. Any friends of my lovely fiance are welcome here. And she looks at everybody else expecting an introduction.
Tulsha Merrick.
Pleasure as well. Lily, I assume you'll just write down that you're Lily.
I was actually debating that.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually roll for this. Yeah, just Lily. Lily's.
Okay. So, you all said you had some questions for me. Are you writing a local paper on the progress and manipulation of the petal caps so that they can be more easily extracted for arcane uses? And he sips his lemonade.
No, not really. I mean, I'm not, at least.
You do that?
Are any of us... What?
Marion, do you write that kind of stuff?
Marry an Arcana check to see if you know what that is.
I know what it is. I
can
was
Lily do
trying to
that as
see
well?
whether or not I want to.
Like
Smooth
Shell
this
is
guy.
assuming everything here is like Marion knows all about it. So
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna make one as well.
With your level of expertise, you're proficient in
I
Arcana,
am.
aren't you? Then yeah, you can go ahead. Not with guidance because it's a instantaneous thing. But Marion and Tulsha, petal caps are very commonly used in magical rituals in order to make something more sustainable. So if there's ever a magic that like is persistent for a longer period of time, petal cap is a green fungus that can be used for it. But it's incredibly hard to grow and is not very common in most environments.
Fascinating.
Anyway, no, we're not doing that. We're looking for Yarsko's dog.
Yarsko. Never heard of them.
She's a dwarf woman. Lives on the other side of the river, just a little bit up there.
Oh, you mean it's a dog, sweetie. See, I told you I thought it was a dog.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yes, we heard it. I saw it. No, you didn't, sweetheart. It's okay. It's fine. But yes, we hear it yapping late at night, every night, for the past 3 months. Lily, she seems to believe that she saw it, and he seems to believe that she didn't.
Right. Well, in any case, this dog has been missing for the last couple of weeks, and she wanted us to find it. And since we, are such do-gooders, we decided to help out. And we were wondering if maybe you'd seen the dog on this side of the river. I mean, if it fell into the river, it could have washed up on shore. And
that would be so horrible. I'd be able to get some sleep, but no, we heard it just last night. Coming across. I saw it a couple weeks ago. No, I'm sorry.
You want to roll insight against Janser?
Sure. Yeah.
Heard it last night, they say.
He seems to believe everything he's saying. So does she.
Okay, so you heard it just last night.
Yeah. Every night it's yap, 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 yap. Non-stop. Honestly, it's so tedious getting your, dedicated 9 hours of sleep when the dog's just yapping all night long.
I can sympathize with that, yes, but this dog has been missing for 2 weeks. I mean...
What?
Linos, you said you saw the dog. What exactly did you see?
She gets a little flush in her cheeks. Honey, you don't have to say anything if you feel uncomfortable talking, okay? Why do you want the dog? Why do you want the dog?
To return it to her owner.
Oh, that is just so sweet.
Lily also adds on her writing pad, I also want to pet it.
That's fair. I'm allergic to dogs, but that's fair.
That sounds like a horrible curse.
Yeah. I'm allergic to most things, though. But, so, late, about 3 nights ago or so, I happened to be out on the docks, early morning, and I saw something that should not have been there. Honey, I told you you were just sleepwalking again. It's perfectly fine. They don't know about that. Excuse me. Well, yes, I was sleepwalking, but then I woke up on the docks, and I saw this long keelboat moving across, and there was a small dog at the helm of it, just yapping.
Damn it, icebreaker!
Was this a
Lily,
Ubo
the entire time that this has been getting explained and stuff, Lily's just been slowly turning her head towards the group when they dismissed it, and just this shit-eating grin just on her face.
The boat did give off a slight ethereal glow. She looks at you, Marion, yes, I know these things still. She did study, she took the class, she just didn't get accepted, Not everybody gets into Harvard. Some people have to go to, Stanford.
Some people have to go to Duke.
Yale.
Hey, Duke is better than Harvard. But yeah, it's...
You're fairly certain it was this creature on the boat.
Yes, or I was sleepwalking. I'm not sure. I thought I was awake when I saw that, and like when I turned around to him, coming out to get me from my sleepwalk again, because he's really quite good at that. And she like puts her hand on top of his, and he puts his other hand on top of hers. He makes sure that like if anything happens while I'm out, that I don't get hurt, because it's very dangerous. It's a very dangerous affliction to sleepwalk. But yeah, I thought I was awake, but when I turned back, there was nothing there.
You recall, was the boat going upriver, downriver?
Upstream.
And what time of night was it that you saw this?
Oh,
Was it early, late?
Very, very late into the evening. I estimate, I mean, a little bit past the witching hour.
Okay, well, that's helpful.
That must have been not too. What's happening?
I muted
All
Icebreaker.
right.
Don't worry. Go on.
That must have been. I mean, Shale, when did you see this thing again? What was the? I was a bit hazy then.
Yeah, it was the last night. I woke y'all up. It was just right out on the river.
Right.
It wasn't there when we went back, unfortunately.
Wait, you saw an ethereal boat too?
I did. I don't recall there being any animal occupant, but it certainly was according to the description you gave.
All right.
I think you don't have any other neighbors nearby here, do you?
There is another state right upstream. Yes, the Swiftbrush family. They have a very humble estate, and in fact, many of the other people who live further into the forest themselves, they're the family that maintains our properties on the off years or off seasons when we don't come up here.
So this stretch of the river is there many sort of seasonal homes like this?
Well, on the river itself, there's only 3 of us. One across the other side, us, and the Swiftbush. Now, if you go deeper into, inland, there's other holiday seasonal estates out here.
I see.
Do you guys ever frequent or, pay visit to the Swiftbrush estate? Do they work on an invitation basis, as your fiance informed us?
He does. I don't really interact with people very well, unless I previously know them. A lot of anxiety.
You're doing fine, sweetie. This has been a pleasure.
Well, I mean, that's because I know Marion. He's always been such a gentle, sweet giant.
How much of a death glare am I getting right now?
Not so much at all. I mean, he seems to give you an admirable nod to that. Yeah.
You don't think they'd mind if we just, paid him a visit?
They rarely do. Actually, if you'll be heading over there, honey, they're trustworthy folk, right? Oh, absolutely. Would you mind taking our fee with you and giving it to them?
Your fee? What's that?
Oh, it's what we pay them for maintaining our property each year.
Plus, we can.
We're supposed to pay when we leave in 2 months, but if we don't have to make the trip, then it's easy enough.
I'm sure we'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Let me just go inside and gather that up for all of you real quick. And he stands up, excuse me, and escorts himself inside.
Can you escort yourself? That seems like a...
If somebody could try, it's a noble. Anyways, after you. Just
I'd probably be more inclined to ask this to Kurt, but since Bernie's here, Bernie, what what's a fee? Why are they paying other people?
To
To
mean,
maintain, like, it doesn't like.
well,
did
I believe it's like, you know, like a caretaker.
Okay.
You know, it's sort of like a nanny, but for houses.
But I thought people just own the land that they're on. Why would they pay somebody else?
Well, they still own it, but they just pay someone else to look after it while they're not there.
It just is strange. Is all. That's this whole.
Wait till we get to a city and we introduce her to apartments.
We've already been there, and she was thoroughly. This is different though. This isn't established society. This is like out in nowhere and people owning land.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, I suppose it's from a kind of naturalistic point of view. It doesn't quite make sense, I suppose. But
Marion. Oh, I'm sorry. You can keep talking if you need to go. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask out of game a question because Kurt was going to look into some of the families of some of the nobles that had been to the Blackwater Resort.
Yeah.
And did he manage to share any of those family names with me? I mean, if he found out, he probably would have.
He was conducting research, so let me roll that for his sheet real quick. Which would be a straight intelligence roll.
Dude, this is gonna be every noble we run into, we're gonna be like, hey, you ever been up to this Clearwater place?
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be like,
How much
okay.
blackmail money are we going to get from this? Holy shit.
23. He did learn of a handful of different family names. And he would share those with you, but I'm not generating all of that right now since we're in session. These two family names mentioned were not what he discovered.
So I was just gonna ask if they know of any of those names and if any of those families have like estates up here.
The Rockefellers.
Oh, okay. Let me roll a history check. And nobles are proficient in history.
And Mr. Jackson, we have here that your nephew spent this time here. If you want us not to involve the authorities, you're going to give us this number on this paper, yes?
The Ovino family, we've been to a couple of banquets with the Ovino family.
Oh.
Yeah. Not so much recently. I'm sure you heard about the impending conflict that's happening, little northwards of us. And they're from that side of the mountain. But yeah. Why? Do you know them?
Well, I mean, we know of them. We may have bumped into one of them, but, well, just out of curiosity,
All right. I mean, I don't know them too terribly well, but I mean, anybody that goes to these banquets, there's somebody in the upper rings of politics and, businesses.
Well, in any case, it might not be relevant at all, but, so this ghost ship, I suppose we're calling it that. Is this something you see often?
No, I only saw it a couple of nights ago. Usually by the time I make it downstairs, Lansler, what the fuck? Janser. Wow. Janser wakes up and stops me from going out. I usually don't get that far.
Right.
and I don't sleepwalk every night. It's just, more frequent than not. But yeah, it's the only time I ever saw it, and like it honestly could have been a dream. But I mean, if she's confirming it, Marion, it's ethereal in nature. It had a the bluish glow of the ether, and it did not disturb the direct territory that much at all. It's very interesting. And by the way, in my off time, I've been practicing still, and she ties a knot between her fingers, and a little strain of magic pulls a magical hand up into existence.
That's
Very
wonderful.
pretty incredible.
Right? And I mean, I have that one, and she pulls.
Why is
and
it
begins,
twitching like that? Why is it?
Oh. She thinks, and then it just like turns like solid palm.
Oh, I thought there was something wrong with it for a moment. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I forget. And then she ties a bow knot over and over and over again as you see a magical bow tie appears and the dishes begin getting cleaned up by an unseen servant. Huh?
Wonderful.
Yeah, I've been practicing. Even though I didn't get into any of the schools, it was mostly just a passion for me anyways.
That is so useful. Marion, how come you haven't been doing the dishes?
What dishes have we had?
I cook for you every evening and every morning, and I'm scrubbing them.
That's true.
Excuse me?
I thought those were wooden bowls. I'm sorry.
They are partially and iron as well. What? And
All right,
she's
just
looking at him, very angry and disappointed.
I have that spell, so next time just remind me. I'll call one.
To be fair, most of us arcane-inclined individuals usually get really stuck and focused on only one task. That's why I've stopped pursuing the arcane, so I can broaden my horizons to the
I
world.
just think Marion's very
Insight.
nervous about his arcane abilities. He seems not to want to do it in front of other people. I've noticed that.
7, Tolsha. Wow, she must really want to be a part of the world now. Great.
Can I insider? Because
Yeah.
I knew how she was during the test. Oh, well, that's a little better.
You get the same answer. Wow, she must be so happy. She's engaged. She's wealthy.
It's not like all that
she gets to
happened
just
after she
relax. Well, she was younger. When you took the exams, would be your equivalency of being around 10, 12-ish. You're fairly young, and for you to be this far into your studies, you started pretty early on. So it's been a number of years, but it's only been just barely over a decade.
Can I do an animal handling check? How is he treating her?
What?
Wow.
No. Fuck you.
Wait, hold on, back up. What was that?
You can roll an insight if you're curious
that
about
was
that.
purely for the
Okay.
joke value. It's hoity-toity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is all very fascinating. I was just wondering if Jensa, you haven't seen this ship yourself.
So yeah, at this point, he comes back outside holding a pouch of gold, and hands it up to you, Marion. Here you go. Just if you can deliver that to them anyways for us, we would really be appreciative. No, I've never seen it. That's why I think it was probably just a dream.
Right. Well, we've just sort of ascertained that it must be something more than that.
I mean, that sounds dangerous.
Could be.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to all of you, and thank you very much.
Right. I don't mean to well, it's not really my business, I suppose, but maybe if she sleepwalks very often, does she always go outside?
No. Most of the time, I wake up when she leaves the bed, let alone before she even gets to the stairs.
Right.
And then I'm able to like escort her back into our nursery, and then she can hang out and relax. Yeah.
Well, maybe you should try sometime to, just follow her a little bit before guiding her back to bed. Just to see if she goes outside and it's always she said it had to be like at the witching hour, right?
Around then, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe.
Bernie, are you insinuating that he watch her as she wanders about at nighttime? I don't think that's the.
No, I mean, if she always tries to go outside in her sleep, and he stops her every time, then maybe, well, you wouldn't know if there's something if she's always trying to go to the same place or something.
Would that be so do you think like her sleepwalking is a habit, like a subconscious thing?
Well, I don't know. I just find it very curious. I mean, maybe it's just for one night or two. Just maybe it'd be interesting to just follow along and just see what she does and where she goes. And
Bernie, are you talking about like a vision quest, something like that?
well, what do you mean?
Like so there's people, that go on journeys that take them places, and if you stop them on said journey, it can turn out very poorly. It can have like very damaging impacts on their emotional and mental state. So typically, if you let them fully immerse themselves in those journeys, they can have visions. They can see things and go places they normally wouldn't.
Wow.
Right.
And
Maybe
she turns at Tolsha because Tolsha knows exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, man.
He is. She's not wrong. It might be
Yeah,
better to see fully what you do without being interrupted, because, well, it could be the universe is still trying to tell you something, or it could be that your own soul is trying to tell you to do something that you aren't actively doing.
Bernie, what were you saying?
well, I was just thinking that, well, if there is some sort of weird, I don't know, I'm not saying there's a connection or anything, but if she always wakes up at the witching hour and this ship is passing by at the witching hour, then if you always stop her and lead her back to bed, then you wouldn't really know. So maybe just for a night or two, let her walk out or wherever she wants to. And I mean, if she gets into any dangerous things, or I mean, of course, do lead her back. But it strikes me as I'm just curious about if there is, something.
Honey, this sounds like a wonderful idea. We should definitely try it. All right, but if it starts to look dangerous, I'm going to be beside you, okay? Okay. Yeah, let's find out what happens. Oh, it'll be like going on an adventure together. Yeah, sure.
If you want, we could probably stay as well, and
I think I can manage. Thank you.
Right, of course. It's your business. I was just suggestion.
Yes, of course. Cucumber sandwiches. I can go make cucumber sandwiches. Keep in mind, you guys have like 2 more hours of daylight left before.
Right. Well, I suppose we'd better get back across to the other shore again.
Well, no, we're staying on this side, right? Swiftbrush?
To deliver the
North.
coins, yeah. Unless you're taking the 400 gold Mary was just handed.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, let's deliver them and then go back across then.
All right, well, it was a pleasure meeting all of you. Don't be strangers. Take care. And with all of you having a little clue as to what it is you're going to be doing and where you're going to be going and how you're going to be getting there, I think that's a reasonable place to end the session, everybody. A little on the early side, I apologize, but, I mean, it's a good ending spot. So, when we come back next week, you all get to deliver some coins and maybe figure out some stuff. But, players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a fantastic time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.